Well, the COVID virus continues to haunt IPL sunrisers. News just coming in that Hyderabad's Wriddhiman Saha and Delhi Capital's Amit Mishra have also tested positive. Earlier, two Kolkata Knight Riders players and two non-playing members of the Chennai Super Kings contingent also tested positive for the infection. Rahul Rawat is getting us more details on that story. Rahul, what more can you tell us? Given the fact that you yourself did say that, questions are now going to be raised about the bio bubble also, and how effective is it really in protecting the players?
Well, yesterday there were two players who had tested positive from Kolkata Knight Riders. Remember, Amit Mishra plays for Delhi Capitals, and Delhi, in fact, KKR last played against Delhi Capitals. Yesterday, we were aware that there was one more franchisee who was based out of Ahmedabad, and there were players who had tested positive, at least one player, and that's Amit Mishra. His first report is positive, and of course, he'll go for another. We are waiting for another test as far as Amit Mishra is concerned. Wriddhiman Saha, who plays for Sunrisers Hyderabad, they were supposed to play today. Now that match has been called off.
Rahul, just to tell us, has the BCCI suspended the IPL, or is it planning to do so? Anything that you're picking up on that front?
So, Sneha, what is going to happen is the IPL is going to be put on a break as for a week. All the players, all the staff, all the officials, all the teams, franchisees will have to undergo a hard quarantine of around 6 to 7 days. After that, the matches are again going to resume, and we'll have to see if they are planning to move the entire IPL to Mumbai, which was initially the plan. Initially, the IPL was supposed to happen at 4 venues in Mumbai and Pune, but later, of course, all the state associations, everybody wanted a piece of cake, so they also wanted the IPL should happen in their particular state association, should host that particular match. So that is what happened. So in this case, the bio bubble has been breached. I've been speaking to a few players, I've been speaking to a few franchisees. They are saying that it cannot happen if somebody has made a mistake. That is what happened in the case of Varun Chakravarti. Varun Chakravarti moved out of that bio bubble. He went out for a scan. He went to a hospital, came back and played the next day, which was actually very, very surprising. He should have been in isolation. He should have been put in a quarantine after that, but that did not happen. Now we see that Delhi Capitals also has a case. Today they have a match between Mumbai Indians and Sunrisers Hyderabad. I don't see that match happening today. We are waiting for an official communication, but as far as I know, speaking to the people concerned, today the match is not happening. Tomorrow CSK plays Rajasthan Royals. Verbally, the franchisees have been told that there is no match tomorrow between CSK and Rajasthan Royals, but they are still waiting for an official communication from the BCCI. Remember, CSK also has a support staff, a member of the support staff, that is their bowling coach Lakshmipati Balaji, who tested positive yesterday. In fact, a bus cleaner who would take the players and the staff from hotel to the venue, he had also tested positive. So these were members in the bio bubble. The bowling coach would travel with the team, would be there with the players, would sit in the dugout. So that match is not happening tomorrow. The only choice as of now, and what BCCI is contemplating is taking a break for next 5 to 6 days and then resuming. Now what they have to figure out or decide is whether to take the entire IPL to Mumbai or they have to hold the tournament as per the schedule.
Okay, so what you're saying, Rahul, is that there is no decision just yet on complete halt of the tournament, but there is a possibility of a hold is what it looks like. So a postponement of the matches is what looks more probable at this point in time, Rahul. Okay, we'll just go back to Rahul in a bit from now, but Rahul is suggesting that the BCCI right now is thinking of holding the matches for a while, at least postponement of the matches for a couple of days. The decision is going to be taken. Complete suspension is something that the BCCI would be looking at, is what Rahul is telling us. Boria Majumdar is also getting us more details on that. He's a consultant editor. Boria, IPL has been suspended completely. Is there a confirmation?
Yes, there is a confirmation. In fact, I've been live on our digital platform, Sports Today, for the last half an hour. If you check with this news, we broke it with the CEO of the Kolkata Knight Riders, Venki Mysore, with me. So yes, there is confirmation. Venki Mysore was live with me on our digital Sports Today platform, breaking it. There is confirmation because today morning, Wriddhiman Saha from the Sunrisers Hyderabad tested positive. So there's one case in Sunrisers. Amit Mishra from Delhi tested positive. So there's one case in Delhi. There are two cases in KKR. There's two cases in the Chennai Super Kings. I'm told there's another one in the Chennai Super Kings which has not come to light yet. But there's a third case there. And there are others as well. So there is no other option. There is no other option but for a hard reboot. Now the question was whether that hard reboot will be for 7 days when they go into hard quarantine, do multiple tests and then come back, or will they suspend it and look for a future window when they come back and finish the IPL? From what I know, and like I told you, we brokered it about half an hour, 35 minutes back with Venki Mysore. All the chief executives and the teams have been informed at this point in time that it is a suspension. A date has not been given, but will be shortly. Venki confirmed that BCCI will make a formal announcement to this effect shortly, but it is definitely a suspension. Unfortunate, but health and safety come first. If there are multiple cases in multiple teams, there is no other option but to pause, hit the reset button, recalibrate, and then come back.
Absolutely. Boria, the question here really is how safe and effective was the bio bubble idea really? Clearly not with so many players testing positive, isn't it?
Okay, listen, let me categorically confirm this. There has been no breach in bubble as far as the teams are concerned. I'll give you the KKR example. Varun Chakravarti and Sandeep Warrior tested positive, and the KKR people confirmed to me that there are 4 bio bubble integrity managers in per team. And Venki Mysore has confirmed, and I'm quoting, there was no breach in bubble as far as KKR is concerned. That makes it even more real. There's another decision that, KKR, this must have happened that when Varun Chakravarti went for a scan, but let me clarify that also. He went for a scan for 5 minutes. It took the total time was less than 10. He went in through a green corridor in a hospital, which means the person, he was in a sanitized bubble car. He was with the team doctor, Dr. Shrikant. When he reached the hospital, he met 2 people in the hospital. One, the fellow who did the scan, and there was another helper. Both of these guys were vaccinated twice. They have not shown symptoms. So clearly, they must not have passed on the infection. If that is the case, then it wasn't during the scan. That makes it really strange and alarming, because if he's picked it up at the ground or in practice or during travel, everyone is now telling me that they must have picked up the infection during travel and air travel. That's what is most alarming, that air travel, even if you go through green corridors, is not 100% safe.
Yes, absolutely. What next, Boria, given the fact that a confirmation now that the BCCI has finally suspended the IPL, because a lot of opinion also about this as to why there should be the season, the IPL matches going on when the country is battling a pandemic, and look at the proportions.
Yesterday I was on Rajdeep's show talking about it. There's an optics of reality and an optics of perception. The perception is IPL is razzmatazz and festival and ban it. It's not. Reality is different. Reality is it's an economic enterprise. It's also about livelihoods. Hundreds and thousands of people who are at the back end, the carpenter, the LED board provider, the little, the scorer, the fantasy sport industry, the sports media industry, all of which is sustained by a tournament like the IPL. So it is not simply festival. No, it's not a festival. It is not entertainment. So there's a big economic back end. Just like a factory is working, the IPL is sports factory. Just like you are coming to work as a television anchor, there's a fellow who goes to work in the IPL as his factory. That's his office. So there is an economic thing that one must understand. Having said that, the question you asked me is, what next? that what next will be announced.
Yes, Boria.
I've been in constant touch with Saurav and the BCCI. We will break that on India Today.
Hold on to your thoughts, Boria. I'll just come back to you in a second from now, bringing in our consultant editor, Rajdeep Sardesai. Finally, Rajdeep, IPL has been suspended indefinitely. They just couldn't handle this anymore. So many of the players testing positive in spite of the fact that 31 matches have been left, in fact. We can't go on, isn't it?
Absolutely, Sneha. I think there was an inevitability to it. The inevitability was caused by the rising number of corona cases outside the IPL and now the few cases that have emerged within the IPL. Yes, the IPL was being played within a bio bubble. There were COVID protocols. But I think both in terms of perception and increasingly now even in terms of reality, the IPL was becoming increasingly untenable, which is unfortunate.